Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm absolutely thrilled to be with you here today. Thank you very much for your patience while I'm still grappling with a few of the logistical challenges and also the challenge each time of being live. Because when you're live, you're raw, you're not cooked. You're not nicely prepared with salt and pepper and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You're just seeing things as they're unfolding in the moment. And of course, today is a really big day. Big day emotionally for the inauguration of Mr. Biden. Many people around the world watching that. What happens in the United States affects the rest of the world strongly. And I'm just so grateful, super grateful to be here online with you in the present, in the moment. If you're watching it now, it's your present. If you're watching it later, it's the present again. And I listened, of course, to Joe Biden's inauguration speech. And the thing that stood out the most to me was that he kept talking about unity, oneness. He said, "We will get through this together," were his words. And the astrology is showing us that with all this tension going on, we've got all these squares going on, the Taurus planets, Mars and Uranus together, very feisty pair, Mars and Uranus. Yeah, they don't take no for an answer. And as the next few hours, we're moving into a moon in Taurus. So the emotions are running very high. And we've got all these squares going on with the Aquarian energy, the Jupiter, the Saturn, the Sun coming into Aquarius. Aquarius, the sign of freedom, the sign of rebellion. Taurus, the sign that likes to keep things as they are, that doesn't like a lot of change. And here we are in this great time where so many possibilities are open to us. And are we ready to see possibility, or are we just going to see same old, same old? We've got, in the next few hours, we'll have 7 out of the 10 planets in fixed signs. Fixed signs. They want to hang on to what they think they know and not move into something new. And the Aquarian energy is saying, hey, let's come up with new ways. All right, the unity, I can understand somebody in the chat saying they were sick to their stomach after listening for the first few seconds of Joe Biden's speech. There are many who will be very inspired by it, many who will be very depressed by it. Are we going to continue to let the divisiveness separate us? Or are we going to find ways to come together? This is the big question that the nodes of the moon are wanting us to explore at this time. To quote Helen Keller, alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much. Even here online together, my beautiful soul family. Thank you, Lucy, for being here. You are wonderful. I'm so grateful for you. I've got the best assistant in the world. And thank you, April, for joining. Appreciate your help here today, moderating. Thank you. And even Aesop's fables, he says, united we stand, divided we fall. Very famous saying. And there's an Ethiopian proverb that says, when spiders unite, they can tie down a lion. So we may only have a few threads. Each person may have a thread. Just a thread. But if you bring your silvery thread into the mix, we can tie down the violence. We can stop the attacking. We can stop it all gently if each one gently weaves its web together. We weave into one another. It's this energy of weaving together. Poala, thank you. I appreciate that very much. And I love the way you come together in the chat, afterwards in the comments, supporting one another. We've got to learn how to do it. We've not been trained. If you look, we've been trained to learn our own national anthems. For the Brits, it's God Save the Queen. Yes, we've got to stand up when we hear that drum roll. For the Americans, it's, you know, you're pledging allegiance to the flag. And we've got all these national anthems. And while some of them are very nice tunes, we've been conditioned into the separation. Yes, Teddy's weaving together. So we've got to find a new way, just as we are uniting now on Zoom, on internet, on YouTube, on live streams, just as we are uniting here in these ways. We need also to create tools, because Gemini, the North Node in Gemini, is what the collective is moving towards at this time, during this next year, strongly. We have to grow into it. What are the new tools that we need to create the unity that we want in our hearts? At the deepest level of your heart, I imagine that you have the same feeling that I have, and many have. We want to work together. Imagine what a world would be like when we do things together. Doesn't mean to say we can't have different ways of doing things, but just that the general training, the general conditioning that we educate with now is one of unity. And I listened to a little to Sadhguru saying that for years, he's been wanting to introduce a global anthem. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate that. Something that is global. We tried it with Europe. Now we've had Brexit, so one's dropped off. That was tried with Beethoven's Ode to Joy, the 9th Symphony. But let's create a global anthem. Come on, you musicians out there, you lyricists. Let's create that so that we begin to have a force that is coming from the heart, the Leo full moon that we're building up to towards the end of the month, and that is coming from a sense of unity, united. When I hear the united, it's so funny. I'm from Manchester, and in England, in those days, there was Manchester United and Manchester City, these two football teams, and the Reds and the Blues. Yes, they were always vying each other. Yes, tremendous competition. You've got the Republicans and the Democrats. Yes, all these different sides. The Gemini energy, these two sides. And Gemini ruling the hands. And I'm finding it so soothing just to hold Teddy. Yes, it's just soothing, it's softening. Softens the energy. And I was thinking about the hands because being a musician, your hands are very sensitive. Just the touch of your fingers on the piano, on those keys, the way you touch it, the way you stroke the key can make all the difference in the message that you want to communicate to your audience. The fingers on the violin string, the guitar. There's tremendous sensitivity in the hands. And Gemini as well ruling the lungs. So we've got the lungs, the shoulders, the arms, and the hands are very much an area to really focus upon during this coming year to tune into this Gemini energy. How can we use our breathing, which would include speech and talking and thoughts, to come together, to work together? And I thought about the hand. When you close the hand, when you close it in, first it becomes a fist, which is certainly not very friendly, but also it's kind of got a grasping energy, yeah? Me, mine, mine, mine. And then when you open the hand, you're reaching out, you're sharing, you're reaching outwards. And I think there's the rhythm of both. There's the inward and then this stretching outward. And my dream is that we keep stretching outwards and outwards, lending a hand to one another. Can I give you a hand? And to become very aware of the energy in your hands. My hero Eckhart Tolle talks about becoming aware of the energy in your hands is probably one of the easiest ways of getting in touch with the body. Your left and right hands, are you predominantly just one-handed? Are you going around the world just mainly doing things with one hand? Is it time to balance that up? Try the other hand. Try writing with the other hand. Try painting with the other hand. Try cooking with the other hand. On the other hand, yes, because there's always another possibility. And I have not got very much physical strength in my arms and hands. Maybe it's a good time to build up a bit of physicality at this time, to get stronger in our ability to give to one another. To me now, it's going to have to be a new education of learning how to give to one another and how great that feels. How wonderful when I'm thinking about you, rather than thinking about myself, because thinking about oneself is something that comes naturally. There is a natural thing. Oh yes, I need this, I want that, let me have a cup of tea, let me go off and do this. What we've not been so much trained in is how to work together, how to do things together. And COVID is the ultimate wake up that we're going to have to do things together. And imagine if we share our knowledge together. Dear Eckhart, he talks about the time he was going to Spain and he was looking forward so much. He was going to stay in this hotel somewhere for a few days and he was really looking forward. He was going to have a view of the sea and it was going to be so beautiful. And he just, had these ideas in his head. But it was at the time where he was already able to just be. And he opened the hotel room, the door, and looked out of the window and realized he was looking at a brick wall. No sea at all. Now, he did ask, and he did say, is there supposed to be sea? I thought I was going to have a sea view, not with an energy of, you know, I didn't get what I'd asked for, but he did ask, but the manager said, no, there are no other rooms, that's all there is. And he said he felt so happy and peaceful on the inside that it didn't matter that he was looking at a wall. So again, this Gemini energy is teaching us that the physical forms in our lives, they come and go. They come, they go. And what we have to learn, because all this fixed energy is showing us where we're fixed. What are you fixated on? Are you fixated on a person, a relationship, your work, a computer screen? Where is that doing you good? And where does it need to be released? Where do you need to be more adaptable? Thank you, Sandra. Thank you to so many of you who are contributing to this channel. I appreciate it greatly. And for your great comments and for your interactions. Thank you. Thank you, April. Thank you, Lucy. You are doing a fantastic job. See, alone, I couldn't do this. With my team, I'm being supported. So we can support one another and teach one another how to keep coming from that heart energy. Mars, Uranus, the squares, I'm going to say, don't rush things. Do your best to leave enough time if you're going somewhere. I had a fall this week. I was rushing because there was a little bird who'd got knocked over in the road, and I wanted to come back and get some help for the bird. And I fell. Now, I was very, very lucky. Few bruises, a bit shaken for a few hours. But my neighbors came over and lent me a hand. They carried me up the stairs, laid me down, brought my mobile phone, brought me some ice, brought me some water, gave me their phone number. These are people I don't know. Remember, I'm very new here. But so kind, so wanting to lend a hand. So it's important just to be aware as you can be, that you're not rushing too much. So using your hands, coming at this Gemini energy is very creative in coming up with new ideas. I said I don't have much strength in my hands, so we've got these very big, heavy water bottles. And now that Eckhart is not here, Eckhart and Rochelle, my beautiful people I'm living with, they've been away these last 10 days. I can't lift those bottles of water. So I've been really frustrated looking at those bottles and not being able to use it. And then I thought, you know what, bugger this. Let's try and come up with something else. So I opened one on the floor, and using a little leverage, I managed to pour the water I needed into a big jug, and I did it from the floor. Coming up with new solutions. I know that's maybe just a little everyday thing, but for me, I felt really proud of myself that I found another way and I wasn't depending on somebody else to come up with a solution. So what solutions can you come up with? Sometimes you have to ask Teddy. Say, Teddy, have you got an idea here? And sometimes he comes up with a good one. So the Taurian energy, we've got Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Taurus, together, the moon coming into Taurus. So I think this is going to bring up a lot of security issues. And security is a big thing right now. People not having jobs, many people sick, unwell, not knowing when they can work again. The insecurity of not knowing if we're going to be able to travel very much again. I mean, everything is insecure anyway. It's just more obvious now. And so the wonderful thing, again, that Eckhart Tolle speaks about is that he said that his insecurities led to more presence. So there's something about being too comfortable that doesn't lead into a great deal of awareness. And security is very future oriented. Yeah, what's going to happen in the future? And he had very little money. His savings were running out. He didn't own a home anymore or have a home anymore. And he just had this impulse to move to Canada, which he listened to. And what he said was, life demanded that I step into the unknown. And more than ever, we're stepping into the unknown. But now the big difference is we're doing it together. And we can do it consciously together. That is, to me, the excitement of this time. Gemini 2, the twins. Not one, but two, becoming one in unity, together. And becoming aware of the breathing. Gemini ruling the breath, even here, right now. Becoming aware of your breathing. Isn't it amazing that you don't have to think to breathe? And I'd love to feel as though we're all breathing together in a harmony here, right now. Yeah. That we can become like the wind. Whenever I think of Gemini and Gemini energy, particularly my Gemini friends, they're like the wind. They're over here and then suddenly whoosh, they're over there, and whoosh, they're over there. There's an adaptability. They love that variety. I'm reminded of a quote here. It's an unknown quote. The little cares that fretted me, I lost them yesterday. Among the fields above the sea, among the winds at play. And the other quote is, you can't direct the wind, but you can adjust your sails. So together, let's see how we can adjust, because Gemini is very much about making adjustments. And we've got all this fixed energy that we're dealing with that does not want to make adjustments. Okay, so this is the energy that we're dealing with astrologically for much of this month. Is you might have a feeling of like, I don't want this. Yeah, I didn't want Eckhart and Eckhart and Rochelle to take Bonnie, the dog, away. I liked having her. But you know, it's been nice in some ways. Yes, I miss them. But it's also been nice to wander around the house naked from time to time, not worrying, oh yes, am I covered? Am I this? Am I that? It's been nice being able to drop pieces of paper on the floor and not worry that a dog is going to come and eat them. So it's learning to be adaptable and finding new things that come from the new set of circumstances that you're being presented with that you might not like initially. Because to me, the fixed energy is a bit grisly. How are you today? Can't grumble. It's that kind of an energy, yeah? And the energy of the Gemini is like, just wants to distract you out of your fixation. Says, okay, fine, have a look at this. How about this over here? And I love this quote by the Dalai Lama, who says, remember, sometimes not getting what you want is an incredible stroke of luck. And I can honestly say that so many times, if I now look back with 2020 vision, the things or the people that I so much wanted that just, it was not time for them to be in my life anymore. It was so much better afterwards, and so many new things came in. So whatever you're holding on to that is making you feel insecure if you lost it, see if you can let it go, release it. Yeah, the clenched hand to the open hand. What are you holding on to for grim death? Yeah, if I held on to my violin like that, I'd never get a sound out of it. I'd never get a tone out of it. But you've got to hold the bow very gently. You've got to hold the neck of the violin very gently. You've got to do it with a certain sensitivity. So can you, and I'm speaking for myself, I know there are loads of things I'm still holding on to that I must release. And keep being adaptable. So that's the energy we're working with. We're working with the energy of the heart. As Rumi says, only from the heart can you touch the sky. And in Shakespeare's Measure for Measure, go to your bosom, knock there, ask your heart what it doth know. So let's ask our hearts here now. What are your hearts telling you? Let's communicate. Let's share here now online. What's in your heart? What is the deepest desire of your heart on this day? It's actually the 21st here in New Zealand. We're a day after, but on this important inauguration day. What's in your heart today? What's in your heart for you? What's in your heart for our community, our soul family? What does your heart say when you knock on its door? There is hope. Thank you, Kathleen. I love you. Thank you, Samuel. Beautiful. The impossible becomes possible. Hope. 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 Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Wow. Peace on earth. Take a leap into the unknown. Help people to help themselves. Yes. A global heart energy frequency. Thank you, Jillian. Positivity in each moment. Beautiful. Surrender, faith, equality, love, and unity. Life is beautiful. Community is key. Yeah. See how much. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Isn't this beautiful? When we all share, everybody has a voice. Everybody has something to give. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, April. Thank you, team. Beautiful. Reuniting. Gratitude, bravery, peace, raise the vibration. Woo-hoo! Beautiful. Thank you. And in the spirit of wanting to raise the vibration, I'm not sure I can use this, but it may get deleted afterwards, but let's enjoy it while we can. Much, much